In this demo, I'm going to show you how to UV a pipe or a coil, which can be a tricky process in Maya. So I'm going to show you the unitize function, how to move and sew, and how to unfold your UVs to get a nice even UV layout. I've gone ahead and opened up the scene file with this lamp, and you can see right here we've got a nice coiled up spring. So we're going to go ahead and, to begin with, let's go ahead and isolate that object. So let's go show, isolate, view selected. All right, so to start, we're going to go ahead and open up our UV editor. Let me just bring that down here so we can actually see it. Make this a little bit smaller so I can work on both of these and you can see them at the same time. All right, so the first thing that we want to do, and actually you can see that I've got my grid turned on so we can actually see what's going on here. And right now, we've got a lot of stretching, and this is the default setting for a helix, okay? For some reason, that's in 3 mode. Let's turn that back to 1 mode. All right, so the first thing, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a planar map on the ends of this object. So let's go to face, and I'm just going to select those ends right there. Okay, and then we're going to also do the other one. Let's do them both at the same time. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Not that I'm into bird killing or anything, but all right, let's do that. So now we should be all set with just the ends. Yep, looks good. All right, so now let's go into create planar, and that's going to create a planar map. And it's looking like it's at a good angle. So you can see them right here spread out pretty far in our UV space. So I'm just going to go UV shell. I'm going to move them closer together. All right, so there we go. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and unfold these. Okay, so I'm going to select both of those. Let's go to modify, unfold. Okay, so now they're much more straight. And we've got those are set up. I'm going to move them out of my 0 to 1 space because that's where I'm going to be working on the rest of this this coil. All right, so now let's go ahead, select faces. We're going to select all those faces right there, not selecting the ends. Okay, and we're going to go to modify, and we're going to go to unitize. We're going to put that. Okay, right here, click unitize, and what that's going to do is that's going to separate each of those polygonal faces into a square. Okay, so these are all overlapped in the same area right now. Okay, so once we've done that, what we want to do is we want to select an edge here. Okay, so I'm going to find a nice edge on our coiled spring. Let's go edges, and let's say this one right in the middle here, or maybe down here. How about right here? Okay, so I double click that. That's going to select that entire edge all the way along the length. You can see it's selected right there, right there. So now that we've got that, we're going to shift select everything. Okay, so right in here in our UV window, we're going to shift select everything, and we're going to deselect the ends. Okay, so get rid of those because all we want are the faces here with one edge deselected. Okay, so what this is going to do, what we're going to do now is we're going to move and sew, and that's going to take all these polygons and they're going to sew them together at the edges that are meeting up. Okay, with the exception of that one seam that we've left. Okay, so let's see, to move and sew, let's go cut and sew, move and sew. Okay, and so what this should have done, yep, and it did, is it stitched those all together in a huge, long shell. Okay, so you can see right there. Now, way too big for us, so I'm going to go ahead and UV shell, select that. I'm going to scale that down. Okay, we'll bring it way back down here, closer to our 0 to 1 space. Okay, still really big, okay? We'll bring it down a little bit further. See right there, just so that we can see the grid pattern pretty well. A little bit closer here. All right, now let's take a look. All right, it's looking okay, but we still got, you know, some fair stretching there. So now, what do I want to do? I want to go to unfold. So we're going to go to modify, unfold down here at the bottom. Boom, there we go. So now our grid pattern looking so much better, right? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go down to the bottom here. I'm going to take a look at this end. I just want to make sure that my grid is getting close to the same scale. Okay, so you can see my grid there is way bigger. All right, so I'm just going to scale that down until it's about the same size. That looks pretty close. And then take this shell and move it closer. And then I'm just going to select all that and scale them at the same time. And we're going to scale it down so that it fits in our 0 to 1 space. So move it back down here. U1, V1 right there. And you can see it's gone to the point where we can't see that grid pattern all that well anymore. And if I wanted, I could keep the ends a little bit bigger, but I mean, this is going to be so small, we're not going to need any extra resolution on those ends. So one of the things that I do tend to check when I'm opening up to check UVs is I'll grab all the UVs in the scene and I'll scale them up so I can see that grid pattern a little bit better, particularly in an instance like this where the grid pattern, you know, is so big that I can't really see if there's any stretching going on. Okay, but there you go. That's going to work for, it's going to work for helixes, it's going to work for extrusions along a path, so any of those kinds of things, this is a good technique to actually get your UVs in order. Okay, so hopefully that helped you.